Crestview. We hope to see you soon.
Fat Boy's Juicy Beef and Tasty Bird is located at 482 North Wilston Street in historic downtown Crestview, just 1 block from the courthouse. We open at 10 a.m. with amazing lunch specials until 2 p.m., serving incredible burgers, wings, sandwiches, and appetizers. Join us for happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Hope to see you soon.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
Congratulations, Crestviews very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company. Recognized in 2017 as one of the top 100 civil trial lawyers in the state of Florida, and Dixie is AV preeminent rated. Dixie Dan Powell works tirelessly for his clients, as is evident by this extraordinary verdict. If you're taking your case to trial, be prepared. Contact Dixie Dan Powell and Powell Injury Law, 850-306-2667.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045. Days Tire Pros makes buying tires simpler. They offer a straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties
a hassle-free experience, and a great selection of Michelin tires. No matter what you drive or where you have driven, Michelin has a tire to fit any need. Visit our store in Crestview or online at DaceTirePros.com. Tire Pros love the drive.
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
I believe that 11 years old.
Can we do your?
Yes, Your Honor.
He's coming. Hurtado's coming. But I don't know where Mr. Medina is.
He was downstairs in the office, so.
Somebody give him a buzz. Tell him to come over here.
The court will open the doors.
The interpreter needs to go somewhere else.
There we go. I don't have to worry about the buzz.
There we go.
We're going to take your interpreter after mine.
Okay. I think you've got a couple. You may have a couple.
I've got one, and I think it's
What's yours? What's your name? What's your name?
Your Honor, this should be Jose Hurtado Garcia in 23 CF 1298. And I think Madam Interpreter was sworn in earlier today.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, because we need an interpreter, she needs to go.
Okay.
Teresa, can you stay for, Cindy, and when did you come?
Yes, Your Honor. His name is Jose Hurtado Garcia. And we do need to swear in the interpreter before we get going, Your Honor.
Do you agree to accurately interpret from English to Spanish and Spanish to English the matters brought before the court today? I do.
Do you have a case number?
Yes, Your Honor. It's going to be 23 CF 1298.
Hurtado is under H.
H-U-R-T.
Very good. Thank you.
I can bring him out here. That's fine. Well, you talk to him.
Yes, Your Honor. Travis Gates on behalf of Mr. Hurtado.
Which one is it? What's the Ariaga?
At this time, I'd ask the court to continue Mr. Hurtado's case.
But him and the attorney.
I still need to review discovery.
Ariaga to the attorney-client room.
We're missing FDLE.
We're rather early in this case still, so.
Yes, Your Honor. And I need to schedule an interpreter visit with Mr. Hurtado.
They're both going to be seeing one right after the
States,
other.
I'm sure, in agreement.
Yes,
Continue this until
for a plea.
October 11th.
No
And they're
objection.
both Martinez.
And I did check, we don't have FDLE yet.
This is what I'll go back to. And I've got his.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
in here.
Your Honor, the other Hispanic inmate that needed a translator, we have an agreement. I need to go over it with him, with the interpreter. I apologize, but we just now worked it out. So I'm going to
Can you
have,
stay around for just a few more minutes?
Yes, sir, I will.
Okay.
Yes.
so we need to ask for permission to go to the attorney-client room to meet with him.
Sure.
Thank
Is
you.
it just one? You just have one?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Is that the only other interpreter?
Yes, I think so, Your Honor.
He also, Mr. Medina also have
Erazo.
Erazo with an E. Erazo Vasquez is number 102 in the inmates list.
Yeah, and that's going to be a continuance, but we do need to get him out here.
Did we mention Mr. Diaz?
You want to do that one first?
Yes.
Medina?
If he's up here, yeah.
But this one.
Razzo, 102 under
He's
docket.
coming.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
102?
You want to
Yeah,
do
all three of them
that
are.
one first, the one that's going to continue, and then?
Whenever they want to get Orozco Vasquez out here, he does need to appear just for purposes of a continuance with the interpreter. So however is most convenient to do that with the interpreter in the court.
I think he's already put Arago in the attorney-client room if you want to go talk to him.
Is that okay, Your
Sure,
Honor?
sure.
We'll get Orozco Vasquez as soon as we come back.
Okay.
Thank you.
Frank, I got your.
While we're doing the plea for Arriaga, we can keep getting the other gentleman.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Harper, you want to continue with your?
He's done. Ariago's going to be talking to you, then going to be the other things. I'm like, going to go through these.
Just have them in here and then we'll start going through.
We're gonna start at 68.
Yep, just okay. Yep. ¿Tienes un papel?
I can address two that aren't here, Judge. Joseph Graham,
And I can
he's number
address one too, Your Honor.
59 on the docket, 22 CF 1985 and 22 CF 2383. Judge, I'm going to ask for a continuance. We did receive a mental health evaluation, but he was found competent basically because he was not cooperative and didn't really discuss anything with the doctor. Based on his correspondence, I'm going to be asking for a second evaluation. I think the state's okay with me doing that, so I would ask for a continuance for that purpose.
Correct?
That's correct.
So the court will continue this case until 10.
And then similarly, number 69 on the docket, Reginald Washington. I'm also asking to continue for the purposes of a mental health evaluation. I'm just waiting on it from a doctor at this point.
State.
No objection.
Court will continue that case also till 10/11.
And for the record, Judge, that was 23 CF 171, Mr. Washington. Judge, this is William Hackett. He's before the court on 23 CF 183. Just one moment.
Can I get the last name? I'm sorry.
This is William Hackett.
Thank you.
Yes, Judge, 23 CF 183. Judge, I've spoken to the state about this. What we're asking to do, apparently we did just recently receive FDLE. There's an issue with that. I think the state and I are both trying to finalize what that issue is. But if we can bring him back next week for status on jury review, I think that would...
Jury review or document?
If we could do jury review.
Judge, I would ask for jury review. It just gives me a little bit more time to get with the lab.
Okay.
So it'll be next Thursday instead of Monday.
So let's see. Jury review is 24. 8/24.
3/24. Okay.
Jamar Hudson. Jamar Hudson.
Rudy, that was plea continue, right?
Yes. Judge, this is Jamar Hudson. He is before the court on 23 CF 855. At this time, we're going to ask to bring him back on docket day to see if we can come to a resolution. It's my understanding that he might not score. We might have an ability to resolve it this cycle.
Resolve what you mean, sir?
If we can bring it back on docket day. I don't have all the...
What's the date explained to you?
That'll be on the 21st.
Yes, sir.
So we'll come back on Monday, August 21st.
Yes, sir. Where's John then?
I'm sorry?
Where's John?
Where's John?
Yeah.
John who?
John, Schneider.
John Terry?
I'm not sure.
It's...
Come on, right this way.
Judge, can we approach?
So, John.
Sure.
Ready?
Yeah.
Let's go to records.
This is Tiffany Woodham, State Farm's newest agent in Crestview. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by my office for a no-cost policy review. Let me help you start saving today. Call in, walk in, or click in at yourcrestviewagent.com.
Check out the soaps, bath bombs, and other bath and body products, all made by hand with natural ingredients at Hub City Soapery. Visit us at 1092 North Verdon Boulevard in Crestview or shop online at hubcitysoapery.com. Hub City Soapery.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local service. We specialize in shingles and metal, re-roofs, repairs, and leak specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com. CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer.
Hi.
Judge, this is James Allen IV before the court on 23 CF 836. Judge, if we can also bring him back for docket day, we've extended a counteroffer to the state. I'm not. This is Alan James.
Alfred James.
Yes, Judge. I would like to possibly resolve this cycle
Come back on docket day?
next Monday. Okay.
Very good.
Judge, this is Michael Jenkins before the court on 22 CF 2308 and 23 CF 314. Judge, with respect to the older case, 22 CF 2308, I'll be adopting a motion to suppress in that case that was filed previously, and I'm going to ask if it's possible to do something a little bit irregular. If there are any available or open dates during the trial week as that fleshes out, either of the trial weeks, if we could hear the motion to suppress at that time, that's what I would like to do as opposed to dragging this further out, Judge. I realize it's not something that would be typically done, and I would like to carry his cases along through the cycle to see if we can, if that's a possibility of the cycle. If not, then it would have to be moved. But to be more efficient, I would ask if we could consider that possibility.
We're a year into this case, and now you're trying to,
Yes,
do
sir.
an extraordinary. So
I'll-
I don't quite understand why we're at this point a year into it.
What I'll say is that
Filing more, wanting to kind of have extraordinary efforts to get a motion scheduled.
yes, sir. And I will say that I was appointed not necessarily recently, but well within that year, Judge. So it was not my case until recently. However, I do think that that motion is merit, and if it's possible, and I understand if the court says it's not
Well,
possible.
we come back next week on docket day and kind of see where things are going. I don't
Next
know.
Monday.
Our goal is not to have any open days on trial.
Yes, sir. I
We
understand.
often know that ultimately ends up, but a lot of times it's at the last minute.
Yes, sir.
So it makes it a little tricky to try and do that.
Okay.
So
Monday,
come
sir.
back on
Monday.
8/21 to see where things are.
All right, thanks, sir. Thank you. You doing all right?
Judge, this is Renwick Keogh. He's before the court on 22 CF 464. I think what's happening with respect to this particular case is that Mr. Keogh,
Okay, okay.
He's also represented by Mr. Gates on another matter. But Mr. Keough has filed a Nelson hearing with respect to this case, and I would ask that it be set for next week on docket day to be heard, and until that point.
We do Nelson hearings on docket day. That would be a miscellaneous day. I don't know if we do.
Is it possible to squeeze that in on Thursday tomorrow?
Tomorrow? That would be a big no.
Okay.
There's like 10 set in the
Yeah, we're like,
afternoon.
actually, we're going to be here
Your,
after 5.
Your Honor, if, could we do that on the 22nd, maybe? Is that possible?
22nd?
Yeah, I don't know how many we have in the afternoon on,
What is the 22nd?
I think there's a miscellaneous afternoon docket on the 22nd.
Has 6 on that one. Now, in the morning, you have 32. And we normally, I mean, you've had cases up to 50. How do you expect that?
Less than 15, 30?
Okay, we can try and do it in the morning.
If we can just bring it back on the 22nd.
8:22.
That's this morning.
And Your Honor, just to let Mr. Harper know, there is some video surveillance, and I did determine that that video surveillance actually is in evidence at the sheriff's office, and I have requested that to be, I've requested an investigator from my office to go get that video surveillance so that Mr. Harper has that, just so he knows the posture of where that piece of evidence is. I know that Mr. Keough did a letter to the court and to Mr. Harper requesting that video surveillance, so I did make sure to find where that was.
Thank you. I haven't seen it yet, so. yeah.
Yes, Your Honor, as the court's aware.
This is, your case is 22 CF 2076.
Yes, Your Honor, and as the court's aware, my posture has been kind of, my case was along for the ride, the other cases were controlling. And recently, I was informed by the state that they may intend to set my case for trial. Given that I'm going to look at scheduling depositions in this case to be safe, I will need to continue my case to October 11th.
And Your Honor, after Mr. Gates and I spoke, I'm not going to try to put him in a hard place to represent Mr. Keough on a case that we haven't done depositions on. I was trying to get at least one of these cases moved along like we did with the other case last cycle, because there's still 2 open cases, but we're working on it. So I think everyone's...
Continue this till 10.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Mr. Harper's case is set for the 22nd.
Okay.
I'll contact you about our office. Look at the score sheet and let me know.
When he comes back up from downstairs.
When Teresa comes back, we're ready. Oh, she's reading the fine print.
Judge, this is Deontay Knight for the court on 23 CF 704. Judge, we were recently appointed on Mr. Knight's case. He also has a new law violation that's set already on October the 9th, so I'd ask that this case be set with that case. I think it might have to be on October the 11th.
Yeah. What's the other case number?
I apologize, Judge, I don't have that.
We need to run them together, so I'm just trying to figure out how to pull them together.
It's like 23 CF 1515, and yes, sir, he is on your plea day tomorrow. And Mr. Harper has done an opposition plea, so he's not on your plea day tomorrow. He's been taken off, and he is set for October 9th.
So we'll change that 23 CF 1515 to October 11th, and we'll continue this case 23 CF 704 also to the 11th. So both of them will be continued till 10/11.
Okay, I'll come up and see you then.
Rayshawn Shaw. Mr. Shaw.
Judge, next is Rayshawn Schaffner before the court on 21 CF 2362, 21 CF 2364, 21 CF 2399, 21 CF 3297, 21 CF 3299, and 22 CF 340, and 23 CF 1155. Judge, I spoke with Mr. Rogers, who's the prosecutor on this particular case. I think we're going to ask for one last continuance, and it'll be either a plea or a trial next cycle. There was a mental health evaluation that was completed. It came back recently as competent, and so depositions have been concluded in this matter, and so we're just ready to go to trial next cycle, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Rogers did state that he was anticipating that this was going to be continued. He stated, like Mr. Harper just stated, that there was an offer out there and that Mr. Rogers intends to revoke that offer if it's not taken by the next pretrial. And the state does intend to go to trial on the 23 CF 1155 next cycle. And Mr. Harper needs to, if he's going to take depositions prior to trial, they need to be scheduled between now and the next pretrial. Mr. Rogers will make himself available for that.
If there's anything outstanding, I don't think there is, but I will get that scheduled, Judge.
So the court will continue all these cases till 11th of October. Court will note in the minutes, or ask the clerk to note in the minutes, that this will be the last continuance. And then, particularly as it pertains to 23 CF 1155, apparently it's the first case up. If the state wants to go to trial, there will be either a plea or trial on the next cycle. Okay?
Thank you, Judge. Yeah, I think I have one more, Judge.
Mr. Snowden?
Judge, this is Marcus Snowden. He's before the court on 21 CF 2286. Judge, you may recall that I stood up earlier when the co-defendant counsel addressed one of their co-defendant cases. This is a cold case that's we've been working on diligently. We just had depositions scheduled for last week, but they're canceled due to some sort of technical issue with the court reporter, and so those will need to be redone. I think those cases, I think we're looking at the deposition of the confidential informants as well as some of the FBI agents involved in this case. So I think that will pretty much wrap up this case so the court understands context. But I would ask to continue that. We need to schedule amongst multiple attorneys to get this deposition reset. So I would ask to set this for 10/11 again.
Do you anticipate being able to schedule the depo before the next?
Yes, sir. Patrice Cashwell is sort of taking the lead on coordinating all the stuff, and she's been really good about that.
Your Honor, I did, was able to message with Ms. Davis since the court heard the co-defendant's case, and that's exactly what she explained to me, was that they have a witness that they've tried to depose, and I'm still a little unsure what the problem is with the court reporter, but there is a court reporter issue, and it's been resolved, so they're trying to reschedule that.
Very good. Based upon that, additional update on the information will continue until 10/11, and at that time we'll really be looking at moving to trial.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. I believe that's all I have today.
Yeah. Charles Bernard Allen. Huh? Who did you talk to back then?
Yeah.
Who did you talk to?
Ariaga? Yeah, we have some information. We thought we had a deal redone. I'm sorry, we just found out. Oh, this is a Roscoe Vasquez, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, Steve Medina with Gerson, Roscoe Vasquez, and 23 CF 280 and 23 CF 503. I've met many times with Mr. Arazo Vasquez with an interpreter, and he has given me his directions in the case on an issue that is certainly his decision and his only. I'm going to be going forward with depositions of juveniles, and that's going to take some time to get scheduled because of the new law and so forth. So we would ask for a full cycle continuance.
That is without objection, Your Honor. Mr. Medina and I did discuss that.
Very good. The court will continue this matter until 10/11, October 11th, 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Arriaga?
Yes.
I'll give you the name.
This is Luis Arriaga, Arriaga. Mr. Arriaga is 97 on the docket. May I have just a second with him? Your Honor, we thought we had a deal, and I want to make sure what I understand.
That's correct.
Your Honor, Luis Arriaga is before the court in 23 CF 1122. I need to give the court a couple of details. We thought we had a resolution for resolving his case that involves his adult son, who's currently in Okaloosa County Jail on a charge of his own, who has an issue that I'm not going to go into the details because it might involve HIPAA constraints, and I want to be sensitive to that because he is an alleged victim in this case that has his dad also incarcerated. Mr. Arriaga is instructing me that rather than plea out to 2 disorderly conduct misdemeanors, second-degree misdemeanors, he is asking for a judge trial. I am not recommending that he waive his right to a jury trial, but it's his decision and his decision only on that issue. And he's declining the misdemeanor disorderly conduct offer that would be a withhold of adjudication based on his, number one, feeling that he and his wife were the victims of the son, and number 2 is that there are concerns about deportation even with disorderly conduct. I can't give immigration advice, but that's where we are, Your Honor. So I think perhaps we need to come back on docket day for the court to consider whether and when to set a judge trial if that's the decision of him. I'll be talking to him some more about that between now and docket day if that's okay with the court.
So you're prepared to go to trial?
Yes, and for the court's awareness, the disabled adult that's the alleged victim on count 1 was unable to, prior to getting arrested on a charge of battery against his mother, who is my client's significant other, he was unable, because of security reasons, to he did not come to his scheduled deposition. The state, which had met with him the week prior at the state attorney's office, felt there was a big security issue. So it does present management issues because of HIPAA type issues with this alleged victim. So we did not depose him. We did have I've had communication with the wife who's also an alleged victim on a misdemeanor assault, count 3 charge, and she's also listed as the victim on a tampering with a phone charge, which was count 2. I've had sufficient communication with her to know that I basically understand she will come to court if she's subpoenaed by the state. I think I understand the nature of her testimony, so I think we're ready.
Dave?
Your Honor, I think that's fine. We can set it for a docket day, and then we will talk about if there's any.
Specifically, I wanted to address, is the state going to be ready for trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that's one thing. Okay, so we'll come back, we'll continue until docket day, which is this Monday, 21st of August, and we will prepare to go to trial. Is the plea offer available until docket day?
Yes, Your Honor.
Withdrawing it today?
That's a good question, Your Honor. Yes, that offer will remain open, and he will have time to speak more with Mr. Medina about that prior to Monday. It will remain open until Monday.
Okay, and then it will be withdrawn at that time?
That is
He does not
correct.
accept it.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Any questions, Mr. Medina, any further?
No, Your Honor, except just make it clear that I understand Mr. Arriaga's decision that it's in his best interest, but I do recommend that he take the disorderly conduct to offer this before him, but in his best interest, he does not accept my recommendation.
May I ask a question?
Your Honor, we were trying to describe the subtleties of the difference between a guilty plea and a no contest. And it's hard enough to explain in English. So he's indicating he does want to go to trial, Your Honor.
So he's wanting to have a judge trial.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll have one.
I want you to talk with your attorney about that. It's an important decision. In addition, on docket day, I'll probably ask you a few questions just to make sure that I'm comfortable that you understand what your options are about going to trial as well. Because it's important that you get a fair trial. That's an important part of our system. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
We're now into the public defenders.
And we're in Travis. Where's Travis?
He's back talking to clients. And
You want to do Mr. Medina?
Mr. Medina still needs to talk to clients.
I have some paperwork that the state's looking at that we were going to send back.
I'm just trying to figure out how we get through the day.
I didn't see that.
We don't start processing our plan, we're not going to finish. Sorry. Just a few screens. That's fine.
Your Honor, I can just quickly just look at the ones that have an agreement that I have to look at. It's,
Do you need, I was going to say.
most of mine are going to be continuances. Where's the other thing? What was the other one? Duggar. You got Duggar too. Just those three, right? Yes. Your Honor, I could call anybody but Duggar, Crowder, or Arube, because those three people have agreements.
Duggar, Crowder, and Arube.
So that's public defender A through E.
well, let's just start at the top of your docket.
For instance, Al-Qaeda, for instance.
Al-Qaeda?
Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda.
I don't think Al-Qaeda is the right pronunciation.
He told me that, believe it or not. Al-Qaeda.
With the exception of.
He had to change his name.
He's Haitian, so it might have a different.
I understand.
Implication.
I'm sure it doesn't have the same connotation as it does here.
Who do you have things? Baru, Duggar, and who?
The three I have to talk to again are going to be Berube, a female,
Duggar.
and Duggar,
who was the third
and
one?
Crowder. The others I can all bring out.
Yeah, all but Berube, number 82, Crowder, number
98, 99.
98 and 99. Those three. We're going to skip this. All right, have a good one.
Al-Qaeda. 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 Oh, however you wish to pronounce.
Is it Al-Qaeda or
Al-Qaeda?
Al-Qaeda.
Your Honor, Claude Emile Al-Qaeda, A-L-C-I-D-E, is docket number 94, approaching at 23 CF 219. We have a motion to dismiss hearing that's set for September 12. I have cautious optimism that there might be a resolution in lieu of a motion to dismiss hearing, but we need to probably continue the case to September 12 and have further discussions with the state. That's the date of the motion to dismiss hearing, Your Honor.
Why don't we go ahead and continue it to the next trial cycle as well. So we'll have the motion to dismiss hearing on September 12th and October 11th. We'll come back on pretrial if it's not resolved. And I do note that you guys announced continuance last time, and we're now doing another one. Is this really the last continuance?
We have.
I mean, you got a motion to dismiss.
I've done the depositions, and based on the depositions, I was obligated to file the motion to dismiss, and therefore that's the reason for the delay. But we have done the discovery. Yes, Judge.
We're ready to go, right?
We're ready. We're ready to go, but I think probably not this trial cycle because I don't think we get the motion done.
Right.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. But the next one, the next cycle, we'll be ready for trial if we don't get the.
Yes, Your Honor.
State will be ready, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. So we'll announce the first minutes that will be the last.
Yes, sir. And I don't have a motion to dismiss set yet.
Yeah, well, the state has agreed that September 12 was a good date, and we were.
Very important. You guys need to hear this. Got a new sheriff in town. We're not just loading up these motions. They need to go through Ms. Van Bossel so that they can be, because we're going to have to monitor. We're getting too many hearings because 3 or 4 people are setting up, and they're ending up with more hearings than we can do in the afternoon. We want to give you guys a proper amount of time.
Yeah, I understand, Your Honor. My assistant has been conducting conversations.
So it's not actually set on September 12th, but you guys need to call then to get it set. If we can't get it then, we'll get it another day as soon as we can. I'm not saying we're not going to get it.
It's taken us a while to figure out what would work on the party's calendar, but understood we got to clear it with Ms. Van Boxtel, and we'll do that, Your Honor, and have it set.
Yeah,
Thank
it'll
you.
work out, believe me, and once you guys get used to working with her, she's quite an efficient schedule. I mean, she's got many years of doing.
Understood, Your Honor. Your Honor, this is Tavares, LeBaron, Allen, and docket number 95. LeBaron? Thank you. 23 CF 1271 and 23 CF 1292. I met with him yesterday. I tendered some proposal ideas to the state. I'm asking to have him return the docket day for a plea or continue, Your Honor.
Very good. We'll come back on docket day, plea or continue.
Okay.
Yes,
Charles Alvey. Mr. Charles Bernard Alvey is docket 96, case 23 CF 629. Your Honor, we're waiting on an FDLE report. The state is inquiring with FDLE when this report on telephone information data will be available. We delayed setting the investigator deposition pending getting the FDLE report. So hopefully we'll get the FDLE report. When we'll do that, we'll do the investigator deposition so that we can do that all at one time.
That's correct, Your Honor. I have checked on that. I'm waiting to hear back from my investigator, but we'll get that deposition set right as soon as he gets it back.
And I do want this just on the record, Mr. Alvey, to hear me saying this, but if the state has any interest at this time in a treatment option, Mr. Alvey believes that he has one or more treatment facilities that would take him for inpatient treatment. Is that an option for the state where we to resolve it or bring him back on docket day?
I'm not going to rule it out, but are we talking mental health or drugs?
Drugs.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure that I wasn't
Yes, ma'am.
misunderstanding.
Which drugs?
I'm willing to review the file, and we can always take it off the docket if I can't do it.
Because I got into a program. I got admitted to it.
Okay, well, we'll come back, we'll take,
Can we bring back docket day?
I'm willing to look at it at least.
we'll come back, we'll
Okay, we'll
keep
bring
it
back
on the pretrial on 10/11, but we'll come back also on docket day.
We're gonna just keep rolling.
So docket on 8/21 on Monday.
All right, very
Okay,
good.
thank you.
Thank you.
Can I get back to you before that, Mr. Medina?
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Bye.
Sorry.
This is a little long. Under Steve Medina with Cedric Taiwan Beecham and docket number 98, 20 CF 856, 20 CF 1938, 22 CF 2923. We have depositions of law enforcement officers set for September 13th. We also recently received an additional video from the state involving the officer first on scene. I want my investigator to have a chance to show him that additional video. I'm asking for a full cycle continuance to October, I believe it's October 11th.
Correct.
And I do want the court aware that Mr. Beecham and I have different views on strategy decisions that I believe are the lawyer's responsibility to make. He's not happy with some of my decisions in that regard. He has indicated that he may be retaining a private lawyer or he may be filing a Nelson hearing request. I do request that if he is filing a Nelson motion that he do so prior to September 13th, because if he's going to get alternative counsel, it would be ideal that we would not go forward with those depositions. Generally, when there's a Nelson hearing issue, try to keep the status quo rather than go forward with additional discovery.
I would agree.
Thank you.
So we'll continue this until October 11th. If you plan on doing a Nelson hearing, you need to do it soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. Thomas Blankenship. Mr. Blankenship.
Right, just the body,
See you, Senator. You too. Your Honor, Thomas Carl Blankenship's before the court docket 100, 23 CF 68. We may be able to work this case out on docket day. I think it's probable that we will if we can bring him back on docket day. He does ask that it be for plea or trial. The alleged victim did not show for his deposition pursuant to subpoena. He was required to show. The witness, who was the mother of the defendant, we've taken her deposition, so he's asking it to be set for plea or trial. We have a statement from the alleged victim saying his thoughts that the state's aware of. So we would ask for it to be plea or trial. But we're also hoping we'll get a resolution.
State?
Your Honor, that's fine with the state.
Okay, so we'll come back, docket day 821, plea or trial.
And we've been in communication with the state. I don't want the court to think that we're not communicating. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You skipped over Victoria Berubia. Is that's
Monday.
one of the ones he was holding?
This one of the ones he's holding for an agreement.
That's fine. Come back.
She'll do it. She'll do it.
Thank you, Mr. Medina. Thank you, Judge.
And Your Honor, as Mr. Blunt approaches, we are set for a hearing tomorrow afternoon. We did send over a response yesterday. Did the court have the benefit of that response, or I have a courtesy copy in front of me right now if you wish? And Mr. Medina,
You don't get it filed at least 3 days before. It almost never shows up on our docket.
that's why I wanted to be sure. It's a very short response, but at least I wanted the court to have the benefit of it. And Mr. Medina, did you get yours?
Yeah, I was at the jail all day, most of the day yesterday, and did receive the response on my return when I went to the office this morning. So I have no problem with the state. I think it's a good thing that it's provided it, and I have it. I haven't had a chance to read it. But basically, Your Honor, Mr. Trayvon Blunt is before the court dockets, I think it's 101 and 102, 20 CF 1879, and 22 CF 2355. We have 3 motions. I'm asking to continue everything to August 17 tomorrow. I say 3 motions because one of them was basically a preliminary issue of a Nelson hearing that he may not want to go forward, but just for the record is that Mr. Blunt has written a pro se, in essence, a bond motion. Then he also wrote a letter that provided information that expressed dissatisfaction with the public defender's representative, myself, in terms of not having pursued the bond position that he wanted. Because it did express or imply my ineffectiveness, I felt, because it was already a matter of the public record, it did need to be scheduled. So that's part of the Nelson hearing. We can probably dispose of that at the first of the hearing tomorrow.
Very good. We'll deal with it all tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Christopher Bobby?
Your Honor, Christopher Ralph Bobbin is before the court. It's docket 103, 21 CF 917, 21 CF 993, 21 CF 152, 23 CF 657, and 23 CF 667. A couple things, Your Honor. I'm asking to have him return on docket day. The state was considering the possibility of a split sentence involving jail followed by inpatient treatment with Varsovit heating. The state has not indicated that it would accept such an alternative, only that it would look at it. We're also needing clarity from the court. We had a motion to dismiss hearing, and Ms. Sharpless has raised that with the court a couple times, but the court will need to clarify. It seems to us, which side prevailed in the motion to dismiss hearing. Because I think there might have been contradictory orders on that.
I'm a little moved what Ms. Van Bosker's nice enough to make sure the slides that make sure point those out. Both and appreciate your call. So we'll get that squared.
And it might be mooted on Monday anyway, so just let the court know if he can come back on docket day, that would be great. Thank you.
Come back on docket day, which is 8/20.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's Plea or continue, right?
Yes, ma'am, Plea or continue. And I'm led to understand that eventually if we don't resolve it, it may not be set for jury trial prior to a VOP evidentiary hearing. The state would probably go with that. Yes, sir.
What's your name, sir? Go ahead, Mr. Boone?
Caleb Boone, Your Honor, before the court, docket 104, 22 CF 2779. He was thinking something over. May I have a moment with him? Just right. Okay, Your Honor, we have the potential for a probation resolution on Monday. We also have a September 19 motion to dismiss hearing. I hope it's properly scheduled. That's what I was told. So I'm asking to have him return on docket day for a plea or continue.
Very good. We'll come back for docket day 8/21. Plea or continue.
Okay. Thank you.
Alexander Boss. We're ready for Boss, Brad Bean, Brown, and Cole.
Is he not coming?
He's coming this week. Alexander Boss? Yes, sir. Elector?
Your Honor, Alexander James Boss is before the court docket 105, 22 CF 800, 23 CF 676, 23 CF 677. To make a long story short, Your Honor, he has been accepted at Phoenix House, really wants the treatment that Phoenix House could provide. The state has indicated that it was not willing to do a Phoenix House deal, and he's aware of the state's previously expressed position. I'm asking to return on docket day to see if there is any way to work out a Phoenix House deal despite prior inability to do that. The other possibilities, he would do a plea to the bench agreement. He does not score, if all the charges stick, more than 60 points, and I believe would be eligible for a court consideration of that alternative if we can't work it out. So
Very good.
something happens.
So we're basically going to come back on docket day for a plea, either a plea you work out with the state or something else.
Yes, sir.
Does the state think we should plea or trial this, or should we want to look at the plea or continue?
Do we take deposition on every case? I thought we only did it in the one.
We did the investigator, and I don't foresee, well, at this point, let's set it a plea or continue, Your Honor.
Yes, sir, I think that better, Judge. I know, and Judge, just so you know, I know one of these is a 22 case. However, that was a capias that was sitting out for a while. He's recently arrested on these cases, so.
It's really only 2 cases, not 3, and we've done the investigator, who's the investigator on both cases. I probably don't need additional depositions, but I'd rather we regroup and rather than try it this cycle.
Okay, very good. So we'll continue on docket day and see if there's a resolution. If not, we'll tee it up.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. Thank you.
Deontay Bradby?
Yes, that's fine. Your Honor, Steve Medina with Uniante Bradby, 106 on the docket, 18 CF 1025, 18 CF 1646, 21 CF 2615. As the court may recall, we have a NGI supportive decision of Dr. McDonald, or her recommendation. The state is seeking a second eval and wants to provide to the court an order that Mr. Bradby submit to that second NGI evaluation. And I look at the form of the order, and I don't think there's a basis for objecting.
Your Honor, I have an order for the court.
Clerk.
I'm not sure what it is.
It's an order appointing an expert for examination.
I mean, I can submit it through the email. I don't really have to.
Always better to submit to the board.
Okay.
That's what they want. Yeah. Submit such, you don't want to get attorney talk.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. It's okay.
I have a paper assistant.
It's less opportunity for it to get lost in cyberspace somewhere, but I will submit it through.
We do tend to get lost.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. If he could be put on October 11th.
And Your Honor, the state will be submitting an order for a state's evaluation on insanity to the court to be done by Dr. Benson.
Very good. We'll continue this matter until October 11th.
He wants me to submit it.
Oh, through the court. Okay, I'm sorry, Judge. I was talking to the client. Okay, thank you, Mr. Brown. Thank you, Your Honor.
Larry Brown. Mr. Brown.
Your Honor, Larry Neal Brown is before the court, docket 108, 23 CF 1356. A couple logistical issues, but I'm asking that he return on docket day for a plea or continue. He's seeking a non-incarcerative deal. He had previously received an 11/29 jail offer. Depositions have been set for September 16. We've requested, but the state has not apparently obtained from Fort Walton Beach Police Department the Slim Chicken video, which allegedly was obtained pertaining to the situation. And so if he can come back on docket day, we can maybe get it resolved then, so for plea or continue, Your Honor.
State.
I think that's fine.
So court will continue till docket day 21, plea or continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
David Canamore.
Your Honor, David Levon Canamore is before the court, docket 109, 22 CF 2533, 22 CF 2534, 22 CF 2635, and 23 CF 720. We're here for a pre-trial. I also had received a pro se document requesting a Nelson hearing, and because of the transport mismanagement type issues that Mr. Canamore has found himself in with respect to the Okaloosa Department of Corrections personnel, I've asked to have give him the opportunity, if he wants to pursue a Nelson hearing, to speak to the court on that matter now. I don't want to get into that if we don't have to, but it is.
Not doing it today. We don't have time. We're pushing over 100.
I was supposed to have negotiated a deal or whatever with the state attorney, but I haven't gotten a chance to discuss anything. And he wrote me a letter saying that they discussed something on July 10th. Still didn't tell me what it was, but I'm still left in suspense. I ain't been able to discuss my own case with the state attorney or nothing. It's like,
You got an attorney, you go through your attorney.
Okay, but he's leaving me out of everything. Like, why? How is he discussing my life?
Could the state, Your Honor, on the record?
I actually told her that I would take the 3 years that she offered me on the first plea.
Hold on. What is it? Whoa. Does the state have an offer?
I told her I would take the 3 years she offered.
Sir.
My bad.
Your Honor.
Let her talk.
Your Honor.
This could have been resolved.
Let her talk.
I am,
I do have to.
Take your time.
Your Honor,
Just
I
asking.
for the record, dated August 15, so just yesterday, I did, while I was at the jail, the state has sent an offer for guidelines based on the way that the state has scored it. The guidelines offer would be 61.050 lowest permissible prison sentence, so that's 61 months, 0.05, and I don't believe that Mr. Canamore wishes to accept that at this time.
Hold on. Is that the state's offer?
that is the state's offer.
And
Because the defendant somehow thinks that you made an offer of 3 years.
Your Honor,
Sir, one at a time. I'll let you talk.
I'm sorry.
But it's one at a time.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, there may have been a lower offer at one time. However, there was a case that came from Crestview that is another battery charge, and there is a level 7 offense on there.
There's a what?
A level 7 offense, which bumped his score sheet up, Your Honor.
Gotcha.
And Your Honor, I've been in regular communication with Ms. Sharpless about that fourth case, because I've been very assertive on the fact that we do not have the discovery we need from Okaloosa County Jail or other personnel involved with that situation. I think that's part of Mr. Canamore's frustration, but I'm doing the best I can to get the evidence in that fourth case.
I don't care. Okay, I'll take the 5 years. I don't want to keep on. This shit is crazy. Excuse my language, but I'll take the 5 years and let's be done with all of this right here, because I'm just sitting in the county jail and just being told anything, but it doesn't matter. 5 years, okay, come on with it. You know what I mean? I'll take that and just get this resolved, because I really got a life to get back to. The little bit that I do have, and this is, I don't know if a game being played, some kind of mob games or whatever they're doing with people's lives, but it doesn't matter. I'll accept the plea deal that she has. I'll accept that.
Okay,
I have no problem.
Got to put it into writing.
Your Honor, I will, so based on what
We'll come
he's...
back on Monday and we'll get a plea deal.
Yes,
Wrap
sir.
it up for you. How about that?
Yes,
Okay?
sir, I'll accept that.
We'll come back on docket 821
Nothing else to
for
discuss.
a plea based on the last offer of the state. Please make sure and get that drafted up.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Sharpless.
I appreciate it.
Madam Clerk?
I'll deal with it.
Right. And the only reason we did it for today was because of the unusual nature of transport.
We're not conducting that.
Got it. Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, this is Terrence Michael Cole before the court docket number 111 and 23 CF 942 and 23 CF 1388. I met with Mr. Cole yesterday, and I just over the lunch hour was able to give some information to the state that Ms. Sharpless probably hasn't had a chance to even look at. We have a motion to dismiss hearing that is set for tomorrow, so if we can just continue his case to tomorrow. His case is to tomorrow. If the court may want to put him on the October 11 docket as well, but I'm hoping we can get a straight jail resolution tomorrow, Your Honor.
So we'll continue it just with our natural, so we make sure we have a date.
This is Terrence Cole.
And then
One of the motions tomorrow.
Tomorrow we'll have the motion. It's resolved. Will be resolved. So tomorrow, what's tomorrow?
17th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Christopher Collis.
Your Honor, Mr. Collis, Christopher D. Collis, 22 CF 1271, 22 CF 1273, and 22 CF 3027. 3027 is a new law case, Your Honor. He is back from DOC on a transport order from the court. He's asking to return on docket day for a plea or trial in the 22 CF 3027 case. There are some outstanding discovery questions that I have, so I cannot represent to the court that I have everything that might be potentially available. I've been communicating on those issues with the state, but he's asking for a plea or trial. Those matters are such that
I'm not following you. You're
Okay.
saying he's asking for a plea or trial, but yet you're telling me you're not ready for trial. I'm confused. Maybe
I'm advising the court that is what he is telling me. And to clarify is that the items that we don't have, if I don't receive them, I think that I can deal with that through motions in limine that might impact the state's evidence at trial. I can't promise him that, so I can't promise that he won't be prejudiced by the fact that I don't have the 3 items that I've been trying to get that were most recently.
Ready for trial? Will the state be
Your Honor, I can be ready for trial, and this is, I'm sorry, Judge, this is part of the video evidence that I have asked investigators to check on.
ready? Okay, so we'll continue this until docket day on 8/21 for a plea or trial.
Which case was plea or trial, Steve?
I'm sorry?
There was, he said a specific case number that he wanted.
Oh, yeah, Your Honor, the VOP cases were on misdemeanors, so the state is not going to request an evidentiary hearing on them first, so we'll get a jury trial in the new law case 22 CF 3027. 3027. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Where we come back?
Monday, this Monday, sir. Thank you.
Jackie Colton?
Yes.
Your Honor, Mr. Colton is before the court, docket 113, 23 CF 487. We have depositions that are set for October 3rd. I'm not exactly sure when there is going to be a motion hearing also in relation to that deposition issue, but in any event, based on discussions the parties are having, we believe it would be productive for Mr. Colton to come back on this Monday, return docket day for a plea or continue so that we can see if we can resolve his case.
Very good. We'll come back 8/21 this Monday for a plea or continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Figures? Now, what's your name?
That might be Mr. Cooper.
It is. It's Mr. Malik Cooper. Thank you.
Your Honor, Steve Medina with Malik L. Cooper, 22 CF 212 and 23 CF 553. Mr. Malik Cooper is before the court in docket 114, 22 CF 212. Your Honor, we have a proposed order to appoint the Agency for Persons with Disabilities to determine intellectual disability or autism. Dr. Zeman did an evaluation and determined that he was not competent to stand trial, but that he potentially could be restored without having to go to Florida State Hospital. We then reached out to Agency for Persons with Disabilities to see if they might be able to help with the situation. They believe that if they do, have a chance to evaluate him for intellectual disability or autism type issues, that it might be helpful in the resolution of his case, or at least advancing the situation. So I would like to approach and ask the court to, or do we need to, I'm not sure where we stand on e-filing it. I think we tried to e-file it, but I'm not sure, Judge. I think the court wants it e-filed.
I think the clerk has requested that it be e-filed. It's not really.
Yes, sir. I just don't want to belabor the point, because I know he's been in jail a long time, so.
You get it e-filed, it'll get signed.
Yes, Your Honor.
We don't let them sit in the signing for too long.
Yeah, the parties agree, Your Honor. We just need to get it to the court. Thank you.
Very good. Do we want to have just a status date in the next cycle, just a 10-11?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll continue it and then we'll get that filed.
I think that they're pretty prompt in the way they do their evaluations, Your Honor. Thank you. They have their set people that they are accustomed to working with. Thank you.
Take care. Try this way. Can we cut in for a max security for Mr. Harper, who came back all the way back because we didn't bring him this morning?
Sure.
Can we get the max?
Come on. Mr. Harper, you get
Can you run the max, right?
Yeah. I give Mr. Dean a chance to breathe.
That's all good. Okay.
Give me a chance. What's the case number? What's your case?
Judge, it's going to be last name Craig, first name Charles, number 50 on the docket.
No, he must.
What's the last again?
The last name is Craig.
Craig?
I apologize, Judge.
Also, what about Marcus Clark?
We addressed him on Monday. He showed up on Monday.
Right.
He had bonded out in the interim, and I believe his case was continued to the pretrial in October.
For the 9th, okay. Okay, Charles Craig.
Yes, Judge. He's before the court on 23 CF 619. Judge, I was recently appointed to Mr. Craig, so I'd be asking to continue this to the next pretrial. However, can we approach on this?
Hi, I'm Amanda Gaskin with Briar Patch Realty. Helping qualified heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
Back Home Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestview's historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon. Bad Boys.
Continue this to October.
Very good. We'll continue this till October 11th.
Thank you.
Right this way.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Next should be Jason Cohart.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, Mr. Jason Christopher Colthart is approaching docket 115, 19 CF 2339, 20 CF 341, 20 CF 298, 20 CF 299, 20 CF 588, and 22 CF 3184. We have depositions set in 22 CF 3184 for September 26th, and therefore I ask to continue this these cases to October 11th.
State.
Your Honor, no objection.
We'll continue these till 10, 11, October 11th.
And Your Honor, there is, I've been trying to get additional video for some time from the state, which needs to get it from Niceville Police Department. As of, to my knowledge, I still do not have a critical first encounter and alleged chase scene type video.
Does Dave have any update on that?
Your Honor, I did email with officers recently to try to see if that video exists, and I expect to have an answer soon. And as soon as I get an answer, Mr. Medina will have an answer.
When did you make that request?
I think Thursday or Friday, and I just haven't had a chance to go back and see if I've gotten comprehensive responses, but I will.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you. Marquise Cox?
Your Honor, I apologize. I think I've got, Mr. Cox is one of the people that I have an agreement with the state that is signed that I needed to get back to Mr. Cox. It's very good news for him. So he's going to get to go to Phoenix House, but I do need to send this back with him and have a few minutes to talk to him in a few minutes.
Okay. We'll come back for just a few minutes.
Thank you.
Finish up with the things.
Try to not mess it up because we're going to go over it, okay?
Has an agreement. He's going to have to be seen by Mr. Medina in the attorney-client room. He's got his plea in his hand, right? Don't send him home.
And probably the next three people are about that situation, Your Honor. This is Mr. Crowder. We have an agreement. What's your last name? Crowder. For him too.
Oh, you weren't supposed to come out.
Oh, you want to have him come back?
No, I didn't contact them because I think we need to come back on that.
Okay. Your Honor, can we get Mr. It's okay, sir.
Mr. Cox?
Mr. Stanley Crowder is before the court. We'll deal with him.
Who do you need to get back? Cox? The one that just...
Yeah, Cox needs to stay.
I need Mr. Cox to talk to.
Okay.
Yes, as soon as I finish with a couple, sir. Yes, sir. And I'll probably have another couple as well. Your Honor, this is Stanley Crowder before the court, and we may be able to reach a resolution in his case. The state was looking at a bars to bed Keaton option. He's docket 118, 23 CF 639. 23 CF 640 and 23 CF 641. I wasn't trying to blindside Miss Sharpless with that. She did need to have victim contact, no question about it. So if we can return docket day for a plea or continue, we hopefully can work it out. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Duggar? You have a plea deal for Duggar?
I do have a plea deal for Mr. Duggar to send back. So I'll hand it to you and come back and talk to you as soon as the other gentleman's done. Thank you.
They're in a transition, so if you just give us a minute.
Appreciate your courtesy, Mr. Bailey.
Yeah, those, Duggar needs to come back as well. He was one of the ones that we had to skip over. So we're ready for Dumas, Emery, Irving, and Dumas.
I'm just going to write a note. Contingent.
You have a plea deal, but it just was made, so they have to have a difference. And make sure that they're okay with it. What's your last name? Dumas to the left. He's not done.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Isaac Dumas before the court, docket 122, 23 CF 1300. He's providing me a letter that we've been waiting for from Haven House indicating his acceptance. I just at lunch was able to provide some information which Ms. Sharpless has not had a chance to look at. If he could, do you think we could have him return on docket day so that he could look at his, at least look at it?
I can promise I can look at it before docket day. I can't promise I'll be able to take much action on it. But
Right. Okay. Could he come back on docket day for a plea or continue, Your Honor? Thank you.
Come back, plea or continue on Monday, 8/21.
If you want to hold on to that, it's fine. Let me just take a picture. Okay. All right.
This is
Dumas, ma'am. Mr. Dumas is docket 122, 23 CF 1300, ma'am. I'm sorry if I failed to say that. Okay? Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Justin Emery? Your Honor, Justin Emery is docket 123 before the court in 23 CF 1150. I'm asking to continue his case to August 17 tomorrow. We have a bond hearing set. We do need this might be one where the PD was appointed rather late. We do need the discovery exhibit, offer and score sheet, that kind of thing. If he could come back tomorrow for his bond hearing, Your Honor.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good. Let him know for
We haven't resolved anything, but
Nigel Irvin.
Yes.
ma'am.
What are we doing?
Your Honor, Nigel Nicholas Irvin is before the court in 22 CF 1639. He's docket 125. And Your Honor, we have recently done the alleged victim and her mother's deposition at CAC. I do believe that we have conducted sufficient interviews with the other witnesses in the case that it is ready to be set for trial. The question really is going to be, is the state, because of a child alleged victim, a minor, whether there will be school availability for trial and so forth. Do you have a feeling for that right now, Ms.?
Your Honor, I do not know if we can have them available for this cycle. If we want to reset it for docket day, we can report at that time, but they are out of state. And there was also an offer, a probationary offer made at the defendant's request that we had okayed with the victims, and we'd like to go ahead and make sure that he's rejecting that formally on the record before proceeding any further, if the court and Mr. Medina believe it's appropriate to address that this time.
I think it would be good. If the state's ready, if I could just summarize, my understanding is that for a number of months, we'd had discussions with the state as to whether there would be a way to have a non-incarcerative outcome. The state eventually did make a non-incarcerative offer to him. However, because of limitations with sex offender probation, housing, and his desire to live with his parents and his disability and concern about homelessness and so forth. His parents are elderly. When he was arrested, he was living with them in Pennsylvania. He made a decision for himself that he could not accept that offer. It's not with my recommendation that he's rejecting that offer, and he's aware that I thought that he should accept the state's offer.
And Your Honor, just for the record, Mr. Nigel Irwin is charged and would be proceeding to trial on a capital sexual battery, which would be a life without parole if he is convicted as charged. Also, there is a second-degree felony in lewd lascivious molestation that does not carry a minimum guideline, but certainly could run consecutive to that again if convicted. At the defendant's request, we had discussed it with the victim, and we had actually gotten them on board, given his health issues, that they would agree to a probationary sentence. The offer was then an adjudication with 25 years of sex offender probation, and he would be designated a predator with all the associated statutory requirements. So if he wishes to formally reject that on the record, then it will, if it goes away today, it's gone.
I ask respectfully that the court engage in colloquy with Mr. Irvin on that, if that's okay, because I just want to make sure that he's declining the offer against my recommendation.
Sir, would you raise your right hand, slide over to the mic. swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth and nothing but the truth, so
Yes, sir.
okay. So, I know you've had a number of discussions with your attorney.
Yes.
And you also just heard the state reiterate what their offer is.
Yes.
So prior to today, was this offer relayed to you, and have you gone over it with your attorney?
Yes, and unfortunately, I was told by the state of Pennsylvania before I came down here that if I was to take a plea or anything with the charges, they wouldn't accept me back in the state. I couldn't go back to be with my parents on probation, and then I would be homeless here, and I cannot do that.
Is that correct?
Your Honor, we have no specific knowledge, but generally states they do take sex offenders.
Because somebody was near a school, or maybe this is a different case that kind of went together.
No, see, my family lives out in the country.
We have no knowledge of that being the case, Your Honor. That would normally not be the state's responsibility to check into it.
And Your Honor, I do not have the capability to advise him as to what his housing options, if any, might be in the state of Pennsylvania. I have relayed his concern to the state. I think Ms. Basu was unaware of any blanket prohibition on sex offenders.
But we're not here saying it is or it isn't. You've obtained that information, and you are comfortable with that. I mean, honestly, you're dealing with a probationary offer versus the potential for an incarcerative sentence in excess of your lifetime.
Yeah, in 97. The other person
But then am I going to...
When I say it like that, I mean...
But that's the thing, though.
Basically, what I'm asking is, are you sure?
If I take this deal, though, if I take this deal and I can't go back to Pennsylvania, I have nowhere to live here, so I'll be homeless, which then, in turn, that would be a violation of the probation, wouldn't it?
No.
So, it wouldn't? How would it not be? I've never heard of anything like that.
You obviously are ill-informed, because the probation, sitting right there, probation all the time deals with homeless individuals. Am I correct?
Correct. Probation is actually trying to get an answer on that issue with Pennsylvania right now.
Okay, that'd be great.
If
you could, please.
What do you believe the reason why they won't let you in? Just because of your sexual?
Because of the charges is what they said to me.
Your Honor, the conversation that I had with state probation about this a number of months ago, the information that I had was state probation could potentially take the address of his parents and do some sort of analysis or communication with Pennsylvania on that. So if probation can give him any input, could the state please
not... Why don't we do this? Why don't we put off, if you wouldn't mind, you'll leave this offer out till we can... There seems to be some... I have some question whether you're making your decision based on possibly some faulty information.
And that's fine, if that's the case, yeah.
Well, I know it's partially incorrect because you made the statement that you couldn't be on parole, you would violate if you were homeless.
Yes.
I know 100% that's incorrect.
Okay. Yeah, see, I didn't know.
I will tell you, it makes it a little harder when you're homeless.
Yeah.
You gotta figure,
Well, plus
you gotta kind of, but they do it all the time.
But in my condition, I can't be homeless either.
Well, but that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah, I know.
But you said, look, I'm going to violate if I'm on it. So why don't we, if the state would extend their offer until docket day, see if we can get any information from probation, just by way of advice and counsel. We'll try to figure out, and then we can. The defendant can make a decision.
Probation has just asked if we can get the address in Pennsylvania
that'll make it a bit easier for them.
Can you state, do you know your parents' address to
Yeah.
state on the record? Go ahead and say it into the microphone.
It's a country town, it's not very big.
Yeah, it's not like an urban center, but it's not, you know, like, well, it's,
19507.
Yeah, it was right
Your Honor.
Okay.
For the record, the state will hold it open until Monday with the understanding, of course, that we may not be able to proceed this cycle due to the travel restrictions.
I understand.
Thank you, ma'am.
okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Steve, I wasn't
John,
sure what it
you-
was, but he was telling me.
You're good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Your Honor, Steve Medina with John Ewing in 22 CF 2460. I apologize, I don't know the date of his Brady motion hearing. Is that tomorrow as well?
Actually, excuse me, Your Honor, I just put a candy in my mouth. The information that you wish to have, we did find it and send it over yesterday. I don't know if that'll change, but the motion is actually set for tomorrow.
Okay,
So
Your
once you
Honor.
have a chance to review that, we may or may not address something tomorrow. How's that?
Your Honor, I will do everything possible to examine what the state has submitted, and that may move the need for a hearing tomorrow, but we will, if we can continue him to his motion hearing tomorrow.
Okay, very good. So we'll continue until tomorrow, and then we'll reconvene to see where we're at.
And this is John Jacob Ewing, 22 CF 2460. Thank you.
And Mr. Medina, I can show you after we get done also what we sent over, just so you can see.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Nina Cox.
The new Nina.
Well, I was. Yeah. Plea or continue. Okay, good. Your Honor, Nina S. Cox is before the court in docket 117, 19 CF 1465, and 22 CF 3023. 3023 is the new law case. I'm asking, with the state's concurrence, to have her return on docket day for a plea or continue. The state has had some additional communication with Florida Department of Law Enforcement. We may be able to get the case resolved. The case is resolved. So plea or continue, Your Honor.
Clear continue on August 21st, which is docket.
And we do, I think we have, just for the record, we do have depositions set on, I think it's September 26th, if we need to do that. Thank you.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Okay.
Leroy Figures. Mr. Gates.
Leroy Figures.
Okay, I'm gonna run
Yes,
and
sir.
talk to that gentleman, just a couple. Thank you.
And Medina's going around the market.
Yep.
Thank you. Leroy Figures. Select.
Hey, Mr. Figures. Right up to the mic. Your Honor, this is Mr. Figures before the court in 23 CF 1120. We have a plea agreement that's also going to incorporate 23 CF 1390 that's actually set for arraignment tomorrow afternoon. This is your copy.
Okay.
Sign it there for me. There's the 1623. All right, Ben.
approach, Your Honor.
Mr. Figurs and I have discussed the score sheet. He does not score, I think it's actually 40.6 points. So he is underneath a DOC sentence.
Would you please?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Figurs will be entering a plea of no contest as charged in both 23 CF 1120 and 23 CF 1390. Will be adjudicated guilty on both cases. In 23 CF 1120 will be placed on 24 months of probation concurrent, actually 24 months of community control concurrent, followed by 12 months of probation concurrent. Waive the cost of supervision, standard court cost, PD fee, reserve over restitution to Publix located at 610 Eglin Parkway, Florida, 32547, no trespassing at Publix. Again, in 23 CF 1390, 24 months of community control concurrent, followed by 12 months of probation concurrent. Waive cost of supervision, standard court cost, public defender fee, reserve over restitution to Publix located at 421 Mary Esther Cutoff, Fort Walton Beach, Florida, 32547, and no trespassing at Publix. And just for probation, Mr. Figurs does have another case that's holding him in currently, so you may want to get up there sooner than later. Let the court sentence him in the probation. We'll need that address, Your Honor. What's your address going to be, Mr. Figurs?
615 Connecticut, CARNATHAN Court, Fort Walton Beach, 32547. Phone number?
Okay, Mr. Figurs, I just need to ask you a few questions.
Yes, sir.
Would you raise your right hand? You swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. You heard your attorney
Yes, sir.
tell the terms of your plea agreement.
Yes, sir.
And I see those same terms are in this written agreement that you've signed, right?
Yes, sir, correct.
And have you read this thing closely?
Yes, I have, sir.
Have you gone over it in detail with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
So you understand that by entering into this plea agreement, you're waiving some rights?
Yes, sir.
Right to go to a trial, right
Yes.
to force the state to prove their case.
Yes, sir.
You're agreeing, hey, we need a final resolution here today. Is that
Yes,
what
sir.
you want to do?
Yes,
You believe
yes.
that's in your best interest?
Yes, sir, I do.
Nobody threatened or forced you to get you to enter into this plea?
No, sir, I'm on free will.
Very good. Okay, based upon that testimony, the court will accept your plea. The court will sentence you on both cases. There'll be an adjudication of guilt. You'll be sentenced to 24 months of community control, followed by 12 months of regular probation. So it's a total of 3 years, right?
Yes, sir.
In each of those cases, they'll be in each one of those cases, but they'll run at the same time.
Yes, sir.
So it's a total of 3 years.
Correct.
Community control 2, probation 1.
Yes, sir.
Plus you've got some restitution, there's a reservation. Importantly, no trespassing in public. Stay away from public.
Yes, sir.
Don't even go in the parking lot.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
drive by there, stay away.
Yes,
Because
sir.
they'll really jump on you and do that. Okay, they'll violate your probation, you get in all kind of trouble.
Yes, sir.
All right, stay away, go to Winn-Dixie.
Gotcha. Yes, sir, will do.
Other grocery stores nearby. Okay, very good. Any questions? You got, obviously, the court costs that are continued.
Yes, sir. I
Okay,
understand.
very good. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Marcus, then, this way, sir. Look.
Your Honor, this is going to be Giovanni German before the
Oh,
court.
Got the wrong guy.
You did, but it's good news is I recognize my clients. How you doing, Mr. German? Good, sir. This is Mr. German before the court in 23 CF 776.
What number?
If the court will give me a second, I will say on my most recent docket.
How do you spell your last name?
German, German.
74 is what I have on my most recent docket.
Oh, yeah.
I do not have your number. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. It's 23 CF 776. And it may not be on this docket because he was picked up last week on a new charge that violated the bond, and so magically we put him on today's docket. And I can actually tell you why he's not, Your Honor. We actually filed a continuance in his case prior to being picked up on the new charge. The court had signed that order. He got picked up on the new charge, so we did a notice of hearing to bring him in today. If we can leave Mr. German for docket day, the state and I are trying to do our due diligence. I have information suggesting that the victim is no longer living in the state of Florida, which may help resolve the case.
Very good. We'll continue until docket day, which is this Monday, 8/21 at 9 a.m.
All right. I'll come see you again. Yes.
Marcus Fennell. You are? Okay. Mr. Fennell.
Yeah, the region, he's on today's status.
Mr. German.
On the pretrial conference Monday, you continued it to 10/9. That's why he's not on.
As I said, Your Honor, we continued it. He got picked up. We moved him today to his status because we wanted to make sure it stayed on the radar. Your Honor, this is Mr. Fennell. Last week, we filed an evaluation for competency from Dr. McDonald. I don't know if the court had an opportunity to see that.
I have not seen it.
We, basically, the report indicated that Mr. Fennell was incompetent to proceed. I've discussed that with the state. It's my understanding the state will stipulate to the authenticity of that report, and I have an order for the court to sign for Mr. Fennell. However, I understand the court may want to review that report before signing the order.
I'm comfortable as long as the state is in agreement.
I'm in agreement.
May I approach with the standard order, Your Honor?
Sure.
And then normally with e-file, but with these, we typically try to just have them in court to make it a little bit quicker. And the evaluation recommendation is placed at Florida State Hospital.
Very good.
All right, Marcus.
Good luck.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Can I ask you a question, Your Honor?
Sure.
Do you know what the terms of the time of the state hospital will be?
Not exactly sure. It's a little bit. It varies.
I think Dr. McDonald said 6 to 9 months would be how long she would think. Okay.
All right, that's fine, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Good luck.
Michael Gallo. Michael Gallo.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Gallo before the court. I have a plea agreement for him to sign, if the court will give me a second to do that. And, Your Honor, I have looked at the score sheet with Mr. Gallo. He and I were under the impression from the beginning that this would need to be a downward departure. So on the violation of probation, we're doing as a modify and reinstate to avoid that. However, on 23 CF 945, it will be a downward departure for a legitimate, uncoerced plea bargain. And I will let the state announce that as I step on their toes today.
And Judge, he is correct in his statement. It's a legitimate, uncoerced plea bargain.
Very good. For the downward departure.
That's correct.
Very good. Thank you.
No objection to the score sheet as is, Your Honor.
Very good. Would you please announce the terms, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. In 21 CF 220, the violation of probation, Mr. Gallo will be entering or admitting the violation before the court. We're going to modify and reinstate that supervision placed on the new term of 36 months of probation concurrent. He will be required to successfully enter and complete the Project Hope program. He has been approved for that. That'll be as the bars to bed. Upon the completion of that program, his probation will convert to 12-month CC, followed by the balance of supervision, complete any of his requirements, $100 cost of prosecution, although it says COTS of prosecution, $150 above a defender fee. And then in the new case, 23 CF 954, again, on counts 1 and 2, 36 months of probation. That will convert to 12 months community control upon the completion of Project Hope. Enter and successfully complete the Project Hope program. Waive costs of supervision, court costs, PD fee, and the random year analysis.
Okay, just make sure I think I do understand.
Yes, sir.
Just a little bit nuanced to the way you've got it worded. So my understanding, and you listen to this closely too.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be asking you whether you understand.
Yes, sir.
First, I got to understand it.
Yes, Your Honor, no problem.
You understand. So we've got a total of 36 months probation. As a condition of that probation, he must enter and complete Project Hope. Say that takes a year, he comes out, no matter how long, well, not no matter how, but assuming he comes out, 1 year on community control, the remainder of the 36, so 1 year plus whatever time you spend in Project Hope, say it's a year in Project Hope, come out and you do a year of community control, then the remainder, which would be another year, on regular probation.
Yes, Your
Counsel,
Honor.
is that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Am I understanding how this is structured?
Yes, Your Honor, and normally we would have done it first out of the gate. However, Project Hope has asked that we not do community control while they're in the program.
Okay.
So the state agreed to make that a condition after completing the program.
Because, as you know, you're a lawyer. As you know, Mr. Gallo, community control is significantly more supervision. Right?
Yes, sir.
Watching a little closer, checking, you got to check in more. It's basically house arrest.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you're comfortable, you believe you've had it well explained to you about how this works?
Yes, Your Honor. My only concern is with the community control, I'm going to have my probation transferred here to Crestview because I don't have anywhere to live in Fort Walton.
Well, I believe they can do that.
Okay.
That's actually one thing I can give you some assurance that they can transfer probation from Fort Walton to Crestview. It's a little harder when it crosses county line. It gets much harder when you cross the state line. But inside the county, they're pretty good about doing it. But they do need to, just for ease of supervision, is why you want to transfer it. So they could technically do it down here, but that means they'd have to run the roads all day. Right?
Yes, sir.
So they're trying to limit that. So you understand? Let me just ask a couple questions. Can I swear you in?
I don't think so, Your Honor.
You swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir, I do.
So I heard your attorney state in terms of the probation. I was following it along with your written probation plea, which I see you signed. My first question is, did you read this closely?
Yes, sir, I did.
And did you go over it in detail with your attorney?
Yes.
Make sure you understood it?
Yes.
Make sure all this, there's a lot of legal stuff in here, isn't there?
A whole
Main
lot.
thing is there's a lot of, they're talking about your rights, your waiving some valuable rights, the right to go to a trial, force the state to prove their case beyond every reasonable doubt. You're waiving it, say, we want to deal with today.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
Is it in your best interest to do that?
I do because I need to go to this program and get off drugs.
Very good. Well, I sincerely hope that at the end of the day, it will be a positive, and it can be, and it often is. And sometimes you gotta hit bottom before you bounce up.
Yes, sir.
But you don't know, if you're down, just means you just gotta get up, fight through it. That's one thing I've found in all this year. I've learned a lot about addiction. In order to overcome addiction, which is what you're dealing with, you gotta start right here.
Yes, sir. I learned a lot of things while I was in jail this time. I've been involved with all the programs in there to celebrate recovery, discipleship, visiting pastor's class, steadily going to church every week. My mind is in the right place to do the right thing and change my life, Your Honor.
Well, we hope you're successful because you're a member of this community. We want you to be a good member.
Yes, sir. I'm going to do the best I can, Your Honor.
Very good. So based upon that testimony, the court will accept your plea agreement here today, and on both counts, Well, on the violation of probation, modifying reinstate probation, and then the new law charge, you're basically starting with the same identical 36 months of probation, Project Hope, and then followed by community control, followed by the remainder on regular probation. Plus, you got all the fees and costs. This is bars to bed, which means we're going straight from jail to the program.
Yes, sir.
Don't give yourself any chance to get in any trouble.
Amen.
Okay. Any questions?
No, and I just wanted to thank you and also the district attorney for the opportunity to get my life right.
I want you to be successful.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Wayne Hall, Mr. Galvin. Mr. Galvin.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Mr. Hall before the court. This does appear to be an older case, and there's an FTA associated with this, Your Honor. I will let the court know, and I've talked with the state, it's not a willful failure to appear. Mr. Hall was incarcerated in Duval County at the time the KPS was issued. He has since then been incarcerated in DOC, and had I known he had been in DOC, I would have tried to transport him to get a resolution sooner than later. I've talked to the state. I've asked them to consider essentially what would be a time-served sentence. He scores, I think, right around 13 months. He's been in custody going on almost 2 years at this point. I think the state just wanted to Monday to try and get hold of the victim before making that offer.
Can you get a last name?
Hall, Wayne Hall.
That's correct, Judge. I would like to have a little bit more time to try and get hold of it.
So we'll come back on Monday, 8/21. Hopefully, we can get everything worked out. Okay?
Okay, hopefully Friday, Mr. Hall.
Mr. Hobbs.
Your Honor, this is Douglas Hobbs before the court. We filed a competency evaluation in his case. I did speak to the state attorney, and they were stipulating to the authenticity of the report. The finding was that Mr. Hobbs is incompetent to proceed and would need to be sent to Florida State Hospital for 6 to 9 months for restoration, at which time we would be able to move his case forward.
We're going to state in agreement.
That's correct.
Based upon the report and the agreement of the state, the court will accept the report and deem the defendant incompetent and proceed the commitment to the state hospital.
All right, Mr. Hobbs, right this way, sir. Thank you very much.
Keep your head up.
I don't know what this is. Right this way, Mr. Hobbs. You can't talk to people we are. Thank you.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Michael Kine before the court at 23 CF 1098. At this time, we would like the court to continue this to the October 11th court date. He does have a bond hearing scheduled for tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Very good. We will continue this matter, the underlying case, to October 11th, and then tomorrow's hearing will go as scheduled.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you. Lane, Richard Lane. Mr. Lane.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Lane before the court. The state and I had already discussed his case, and the intent is to continue his case. I know that during my last meeting with Mr. Lane, he had voiced some concerns and expressed that he intended to file a Nelson hearing. and I left him.
I said I was unhappy with it. I didn't say I was going to file yet.
And that kind of put me in a unique predicament, Your Honor. So at this time, the plan is to continue the case. If Mr. Lane does intend to file anything, he needs to do so sooner than later, because it puts me in a position where I really can't advise him if he's claiming potential ineffective assistance. Office policy is we cannot communicate until the court makes that ruling.
So you just got to make, you know what your rights are. As far as the Nelson hearing, you feel like you need to file that, go ahead and file, and let's get it on the books.
Okay. All right.
If not,
We continue on it.
let's move forward the rest of this problem. Thank you. We'll come back, continue until the next cycle, 10-11. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Are you coming? We've got to wait for a prisoner transition before we get Mr. Thompson.
Would this be a decent time to take a 10-minute break?
I think we can, Your Honor. I know that Mr. Medina just stepped out, so that'll probably help him too.
All rise, please.
Thank you.
Court is in a 10-minute recess.
On the case that I know that they're doing
Right, but sometimes they put it down on most people. And some misdemeanors also require driver's license. Even if you also but you, so the clerk is, most of the clerks are really good at like saying, they'll fill out their name in the form, so you really don't even have to pay attention on this, I guess, so they'll give you the form. But yeah, I'm gonna grab some water. What up? Do you want to go walk real quick? The water coming?
Give me this a second. Jasmine's version. Oh, no, I'm not printing them out.
Boys Juicy Beef and Tasty Bird is located at 482 North Wilston Street in historic downtown Crestview, just 1 block from the courthouse. We open at 10 a.m. with amazing lunch specials until 2 p.m., serving incredible burgers, wings, sandwiches, and appetizers. Join us for happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Hope to see you soon.
I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
Congratulations, Crestview's very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company. Recognized in 2017 as one of the top 100 civil trial lawyers in the state of Florida, and Dixie is AV Preeminent rated. Dixie Dan Powell works tirelessly for his clients, as is evident by this extraordinary verdict. If you're taking your case to trial, be prepared. Contact Dixie Dan Powell and Powell Injury Law, 850-306-2667.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045. Days Tire Pros makes buying tires simpler. They offer a straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, a hassle-free experience, and a great selection of Michelin tires. No matter what you drive or where you have driven, Michelin has a tire to fit any need. Visit our store in Crestview or online at daystirepros.com. Tire Pros love the drive.
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
This is Tiffany Woodham, State Farm's newest agent in Crestview. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by my office for a no-cost policy review. Let me help you start saving today. Call in, walk in, or click in at yourcrestview.agent.com.
Check out the soaps, bath bombs, and other bath and body products, all made by hand with natural ingredients at Hub City Soapery. Visit us at 1092 North Verdon Boulevard in Crestview or shop online at hubcitysoapery.com. Hub City Soapery.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local service. We specialize in shingles and metal, re-roofs, repairs, and leak specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com. CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer.
Hi, I'm Amanda Gaskin with Briarpatch Realty. Helping qualified heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
Back Home Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestview's historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Fat Boy's Juicy Beef and Tasty Bird is located at 482 North Wilston Street in historic downtown Crestview, just 1 block from the courthouse. We open at 10 a.m. with amazing lunch specials until 2 p.m., serving incredible burgers, wings, sandwiches, and appetizers. Join us for happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Hope to see you soon.
I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
Congratulations, Crestview's very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company. Recognized in 2017 as one of the top 100 civil trial lawyers in the state of Florida, and Dixie is AV preeminent rated. Dixie Dan Powell works tirelessly for his clients, as is evident by this extraordinary verdict. If you're taking your case to trial, be prepared. Contact Dixie Dan Powell and Powell Injury Law, 850-306-2667.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call
Yeah, this is Mr. Marcus Thompson before the court. After speaking with him, he's asked me, and I've asked the state a couple different ways, if there is any sort of plea arrangement over the two of these cases, 22 CF 1938, 22 CF 2272, reducing some of the charges, dismissing some of the charges to afford a plea agreement for Mr. Thompson that would be some sort of supervision with a suspended sentence. And the state has told me they are not interested in that. Best they would do is guidelines. Mr. Thompson did speak to me during the break and has kind of another offer. If I can leave him for Monday as a plea continue, I'll convey that to the state and see if maybe we can't get it resolved. Okay.
Very good. Before we continue this matter for docket day on Monday, which is the 20th. I'm gonna keep trying. Okay.
I'm quite a young blood, I love you.
Ricky Wilson.
Your Honor, this is going to be Ricky Wilson before the court in 21 CF 143, 21 CF 534, and 21 CF 553. At this time, the state has made Mr. Wilson an amended offer to cover all three cases. He and I met yesterday. We went over that plea agreement. I provided him the score sheet. He did have some questions this afternoon about the score sheet. Specifically the victim injury points that I'm looking into. If we can leave him for Monday, the state has told me that he has until Monday to make a decision on the offer. After Monday, the offer will be revoked.
That's accurate, Your Honor. The state has thrown out an 11-year and some change offer to Mr. Wilson to resolve all cases after victim contact and after looking at what would be appropriate in this case. And I did state to Mr. Gates that I would leave that offer open until docket day. If there is an issue with something, if something can or cannot be on the score sheet, I'm sure Mr. Gates will get with me about that issue and we'll discuss it.
And are we continuing until docket day for a plea trial, or are we continuing one more cycle if we don't get it resolved?
I know two of the cases are not ready whatsoever for trial. We are still working through depositions on those cases. On the 143 case, the state has told me that they would be inclined to set that for trial this cycle. I have explained to them.
What is the 143?
That is the trafficking, and I want to say fleeing and eluding, the resisting and possession case. As I explained to the state, yes, Your Honor. As I explained to the state, I mean, obviously the court's well aware I'm in court a lot over the next few days, and I would make an effort to have that case ready for trial, but if I did not feel that I was adequately prepared for trial, I would be asking the court to continue that case. It's not if it was a simple possession case, I could understand. It is a sentence of 25 years minimum mandatory if found guilty. That would be my only reservation if I'm not prepared for trial. I would ask the court to continue.
Let's come back on docket day and see where we're at.
Yes, Your Honor.
I do appreciate that. I know you're not trying to get out of the trial.
No, Your Honor. I've tried many over the years. I'm not afraid of it. It's just given the, I want to make sure I do it right. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Marquise Cox.
Your Honor, Marquise Jarrell Cox is coming back before the court in 23 CF 515 and 22 CF 2794. He's signing his agreement that we have been over. The state's already signed it. Does the state have a score sheet? Very good. Oops. Sir, will you just initial there because I misstated it at first, so just right there, just initial. Thanks. Perfect. Thank you, sir. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. May I approach your honor? The agreement and score sheet, Your Honor. And Your Honor, under this
is okay with the score sheet.
I'm sorry, Judge. May I have it back just to make sure? I think we're okay, but I just want to verify.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right. No questions on the score sheet.
Would you please announce the...
Yes, Your Honor. Under the agreement, there would be an adjudication of guilt as charged. There would be an admission of the VOP. There would be reinstate and modify to new concurrent term of 36 months probation on the felonies, with special condition of enter and successfully complete Phoenix House, bars to bed, time served on the misdemeanor, 515 court costs, $100 VOP, $250 public defender fees, reinstate existing obligations, which were in 22 CF 2794, reserve jurisdiction over restitution in the new law case 23 CF 515 for 180 days. I think that is it.
Your Honor, that is the state's agreement.
And Your Honor, he will be going away to Phoenix House when a bed becomes available. I know the state will reach out to the victim in the 23 CF 515. If there's a way to reach a resolution on restitution, we'll certainly do our best to do that. There was just an estimate of $1,000 in damages, and I think there'll probably be a need for a bit more specificity of the estimate.
Okay, very good. Well, I see that it's reserved, so that's
Thank you.
covered under this. So, Mr. Cox, would you raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, speaking to that microphone. So, you heard, put your hand out. You heard your attorney state the terms of your plea agreement. And I see those terms are written in your written plea agreement that you've signed. Have you read this closely?
Yes.
And did you go over it in detail with your attorney to make sure you understand? Because there's a lot of legal stuff in here. Did you go over it and make sure you had all your questions answered about what this plea agreement means?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you believe this is in your best interest to enter into this here today?
Yes.
And importantly, you understand that by entering into this, you're waiving some valuable legal rights. One of them, most important one, is the right to go to a trial. Force the state to prove their case beyond every reasonable doubt. You're waiving that right so you can get a final resolution today. You believe that's in your best interest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Based upon that testimony, the court will accept your plea. And for each of the felonies, there's the misdemeanor.
The misdemeanor is actually the misdemeanor VOP.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, that was count 3 of 22 CF 2794.
Right.
And that will be basically time served on that.
You probably need to add that, don't you?
It says time served on misdemeanor. That was the intent.
It does say, I was looking for it. Okay. So time served on the misdemeanor, but on the, essentially there's two violations of probation that are felonies and then one new law charge. All 3 of those are going to have 36 months probation. They're all served at the same time. Okay, so you have one 36-month sentence. Okay. Condition of that sentence is Phoenix House. That's part of the probation, right? So
yes.
Okay. So it's bars to bed over there and wait until there's a bed at Phoenix House before you release. You go right over there. And your being in that program is a condition of your probation. So if you left the program, you just walk out, then you'd be in violation and they'd pick you up. You understand that? So it gives you some additional incentive as well. We want you to be successful at this. It's going to take some focus and you got to have some Iwana on this. You understand?
Yes.
Okay. And so you don't have any other questions regarding how all this works?
No, Your Honor.
The fees and costs that are contained in here, and those will be payable during the term of the probation, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Good luck.
Try this one, Mr. Cummings.
Thank you.
Good luck, sir.
You can go ahead, Mr.
Your Honor, next is Mr. Shane M. Duggar in 23 CF 1321. We have an agreement that he's been over and he's signing. The state's already signed. That's the correct score sheet, 24.10. May I approach, Your Honor?
Probation.
Your Honor, I'm going to provide probation a copy, just make it a little easier on them. Your Honor, under the agreement, Mr. Duggar is going to have a withhold of adjudication as charged, 3 years probation. That will be concurrent with probation that he's already doing for for a Franklin County case. It's my understanding he actually lives in Leon County, and Franklin County has allowed him to actually be supervised in Leon County, but it's on a Franklin County case and would be concurrent with that probation. Restitution of $4,189 to Eglin Federal Credit Union is going to be liquidated. In other words, that's an amount certain owed under this agreement. $515 court costs, $150 public defender fees, $336.23 cost of transportation to Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office.
State?
Your Honor, that is the state's agreement.
Mr. Duggar, would you raise your right hand, sir? You swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Medina, just by point of clarification, so I understand this, he's got 3 years of probation here. And it'll run concurrent with the what's the length of the probation in Franklin County?
My understanding is it was only 2 years.
Okay,
So this
3
will go,
years will kind of go beyond what his probation is over there.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
So,
unless it was early terminated by statutory provisions.
Sure, and, yeah, that goes on. But right now, I mean, according to the terms of this, 3 years, you've always got the right to early terminate under certain conditions based on the statute. I just wanted to make sure that key point, one, I want to make sure you understand.
Yes, sir.
First, I got to understand, but then you kind of make sure you understand. So
Yes,
that
sir.
you're entering into it freely. So with that information, I see the, you know, the outline of the plea agreement is contained in the sentencing agreement that you signed. Did you go over it with your attorney in detail?
Yes, sir.
And you feel like you understand the terms of this plea agreement, what it means legally?
Yes, sir.
Importantly, you're waiving the right to go to a trial and to contest all this. You believe it's in your best interest to resolve it today, straight up?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Based upon that, the court will accept your plea agreement. There'll be a withhold of adjudication as charged, 3 years of probation. It'll run concurrent with probation that's on another Franklin County case. There'll be restitution of $41.89 to Eglin Federal Credit Union and other fees and costs, including cost of transportation to the county.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Any questions?
No, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Stay in good contact probation immediately so they can work out the coordination between where it's going to be done and all that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Victoria Berube?
Your Honor, Victoria Berube is before the court. The state needs a little more time to evaluate the situation, but if we can have her come back, return on docket day, we should be able to resolve it this Monday, Your Honor. So if she could come back for plea or continue in her cases, Madam Clerk, they were 23 CF 1222 and 23 CF 1344.
Very good. We'll continue this to docket day to 8:20.
Monday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Padine, I have a couple of cases that are on my docket that you didn't call. Yes, sir. They may not be inmates. One is Johnny Wilson Diaz.
Yes, Your Honor, the state has allowed us, with the court's approval, to not have caveats entered. Several months ago, he entered an agreement to basically get a signature bond. It was a case that after depositions, we worked out a signature bond so that the state can look at the situation some more. Unfortunately, because he's undocumented, ICE went and got him. So to the best of my knowledge, he's still in an ICE facility. We were just trying to avoid a capias. At this point in time, I don't have any additional information.
What do we need to do here, Tony?
Just continue it
I would
one
say
cycle.
just continue it. We'll see if maybe I can find out something from ICE.
Thank you. Appreciate
We'll
it.
continue to 10:11. So I got one other one here. Kirby Lynn Dixon.
Yes, Your Honor, we did a waiver of appearance and dealt with him on Monday.
Okay.
To continue him to October 9 because he's out of custody. Now, I do want the court to be aware, respectfully, is that I heard there might be a charge in Santa Rosa County with that he might have something going on over there too. So I'm not sure if he's going to be able to come on October 9.
That was.
Okay, I show October 9. You continued this one already.
Yes, that's right. That's what he said.
So we did a waiver, but I don't know.
I didn't have my docket, so a couple of them couldn't cross off. So.
We'll hopefully have him here next time, Your Honor, if he's not picked up on something else.
Mr. Gates, I've got a couple of yours that I don't know whether. One is Ricky Joe Hawkins Jr.
Yes, Your Honor. So on that case, it's my fault on this one, Your Honor. He was in custody, bonded out, so we did a notice of hearing for the 14th. That's what the court has asked us to do. If they're out, put them on the docket. Unfortunately, he didn't get notice of that court date, and when I looked after the court issued a capias, the bond order specifically signed by the bondsman said today, the 16th. I spoke with Mr. Lasco, who agreed to recall the capias. The motion and order should have been on your desk today. In the meantime, Mr. Hawkins had reached out to Mr. James Owens about court today, had a waiver that they had signed that was submitted and e-filed in that case today. I showed that to Mr. Lasco, who agreed to waive his appearance today, and then set it for October the 9th.
I think I saw. So you're continuing this till October 9th? That's
Yes, Your Honor. We're waiving Mr. Hawkins' appearance today and setting it for October the 9th.
Michael Henniger.
Your Honor, as far as I'm aware, he's still in custody in Tennessee unless the state has information otherwise.
Nothing to the contrary right now, Your Honor, and like that's something we'll try to follow up with.
Didn't we have this question last month?
And when we checked on it, he was.
Oh, he was.
We just haven't confirmed that he's like this moment still there,
Okay,
so
gotcha.
I will double check.
It's not that hard to find out if they're in jail.
I don't have that luxury. I've tried before. They don't typically let people know out of state whether they're in custody. The state has a bit more access than
I just assumed that there would be a registry, you all just like, give them social and.
Yeah, we usually just reach out to them.
Smiling, so.
We usually just reach out to the state and find out.
To the state or to the case
If it's
officer
in
that's
Florida,
handling
we
it.
can for sure find out about it.
I can find out in Florida. That's easy for me.
Yeah, but how do you know where in Tennessee to look?
Where he's residing? We do know where he is,
Oh, where?
Judge, yeah. And actually, Mr.
Okay. Well, I'm
It's
just
not my case
wondering,
anymore, but we'll take care of it.
Judge, it is my case now, so I'll look into it.
No,
that's all. I was asking, not really because I was pressing you all, just mainly I wanted to understand I made an assumption it would be easy to find out if they're in jail.
Yeah, sure. And the issue is that it's a registration case in Tennessee, came down here, picked up a registration case, and then was transported back to Tennessee. So I think we're really waiting for them to do whatever it is they're going to do and then resolve this case.
Did
So
we do Richard Hollaback?
he was continued already, Your Honor. And as far as Mr. Henniger is concerned, can we set him for October the 11th?
Or 9th,
11th.
11th, because.
He,
October 11th.
yes, Your Honor.
And Hollaback, what about Todd Hunt?
Continued to October the 11th, Your Honor.
Not that number?
No, sir, I've got the list pulled up, I was just proceeding. Yes, sir, Mr. Hunt has already been continued to October 11th. Mr. Hennifer is on October 11th.
What about Danielle Tankersley? That was a PTI recall.
Yes, Your Honor. Daniel Tankersley.
Judge, this is an instance where Tankersley was sentenced to, I think, a min-man in a different county. So if we could put this on a docket day, I just need some guidance on how we want to handle this moving forward.
No objection to that, Your Honor. And previous conversation with the state was that if she ended up with the min-man and the fine, given that this was a PTI recall, they were likely just going to dismiss the case. But Mr. Lasco wanted time to see what he would be doing with that case, whether it's dismissal or otherwise.
We'll come back on docket day.
And that should be all I have, Your Honor.
What about Marcus Thompson?
We handled him, Your Honor. Plea continue for Monday.